Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Say, could that lass be I? Mary of soul, she sailed on a day over the sea to sky.
Hi everyone, Alvine here. So I wanted to give you a little update on what's been going on for me over this winter solstice time. This time has definitely been marked by shadow. I've had a lot of things coming up for me to face. I've had a lot of issues from my past coming up for me to kind of look at, and it's been difficult, but it's been a really good thing. Like I feel like in this time and space I'm ready to look at those things, I'm ready to face them and to move through them. That can be easier said than done, of course. But I feel like I have a lot of support from Spirit. The way that Spirit seems to talk to me is through lots of little hints that all kind of line up together. So, for example, I might get a kind of feeling, or I don't know, maybe like a premonition or something like that, a knowing within myself, and then I'll talk to someone and they'll kind of confirm that or shed some more light around that, and then I'll talk to someone else and it'll be the same thing, and then I'll get onto YouTube and there'll be a video about it that I just happen to click on, or on Facebook and there'll be an article or something, you know. So it seems to be a lot of this kind of synchronicity, and I'm getting a lot of messages that way. A lot of messages that way. So I do feel really supported in this time. And you know, my husband, he's so wonderful. He has the biggest heart of anyone I've ever known, and he's so supportive and has just been here for me through everything. So I feel for the first time in my life quite safe. There has always been kind of a lot of outward things going on where I haven't felt fully safe, and therefore I haven't felt that I can really dive into myself and kind of really explore and, you know, work through a lot of these demons. All the demons I'm not friends with, that is. So I feel like I have that space, you know, for the first time in my life, really. So in times gone by, you know, I've been under so much pressure that I have had my choice has been to either completely crumble or to get up off my ass and do something. So I've had a lot of growth stages like that, that have been kind of almost been thrust upon me. And I'm in a stage now where really, if I wanted to, I could just kind of stay where I am and things would probably be okay. But I have this real yearning in my spirit to grow and to expand myself and to learn more. And I'm learning at the moment to love growth for growth's sake, not for the outcome that it can and will bring me, but to just really be within the process of growth. And that for me has changed a lot about how I'm approaching things. So for this whole year, the way I've been approaching things is through fear, through a need of the outcome, you know, a need of getting to a certain place. And that's what's driven me. And so I've been driven by this fear, and because that has been where I'm coming from, I've felt incredibly stuck and I haven't really been able to move either. So even though, you know, I've had all this worry and I felt like if I drop that worry, then I won't do anything about it, you know, I haven't been able to actually move either. So I'm coming to this point, and this is what this death period for me has been about, and I've spoken about this in previous videos. This has been a stripping away time. Yeah, like I haven't experienced before. It's not been intense I mean, at times it's been intense, but it's been very constant. You know, there's always stuff coming up for me to look at. So I'm enjoying that process now. You know, I'm getting to the point where I'm not putting myself under so much pressure that I can't move, but just being in the moment each day and working through stuff. So that's kind of been my winter solstice time, and I kind of thought maybe because, you know, we were coming to the time where the sun is brightening again, perhaps that this kind of death energy for me will, you know, kind of wane a little bit. That is not the case. So what I do now is for each lunar cycle, so from full moon to full moon, I have been drawing a card for myself to kind of look at, you know, the energies for the month. And last month I had the Death card and the Tower card, which I think was very fitting. And this time around I thought, all right, you know, what will it be? And I drew the Death card again. So I was like, okay. And this time I used 3 different decks. So I pulled a card from each deck, the decks that I like the most and sort of work with the most. And there was 2 cards in there, both 2 cards that kind of resembled that kind of death energy. The other one was about communing as well, communing with spirit, and yeah, it all fits nicely together. So death is still here. And I know that because, you know, I have so much still to work through. You know, and life is a process. There'll always be plenty of stuff to work through. You know, there's always something new that you can shed and something new you can bring in. A wonderful thing has happened for me over this time as well. I've discovered a new art form, and it's something that I've done for ages. I've done it consistently ever since coming onto this sort of path, this way of living, and I haven't really thought of it as an art form before. Which is interesting. It's funny how we do that sometimes. You know, I had like this fixed idea of what art was in my head, and I wasn't doing that, so I wasn't doing art, but I have been right under my own nose. So I've been pursuing that a lot more, and I feel like, you know, it's really helping me to uncover a lot and to look at those shadows, and it's giving me a safe space to explore them as well. So that's been really fun too, and you know, I'm really interested to see where it goes in and of itself. I'm hoping to one day get to the point where I will bring it out as something that I share. You know, for now, because of my past experience with blockages and, you know, a lot of hurt around my art, it's something that I need to keep safe and just with me right now. And that feels really good, you know, because I'm actually just enjoying that process, you know, enjoying sitting down at the page and doing my work, you know, and not because I have any kind of expectation of what it should be or could be or might be or any of that, just for the process itself. So that's been really wonderful, and it feels very healing as well. Very healing to be able to do something creative and not have all these kind of attachments there and all these like narky things, you know, from my past sitting on my shoulder, and to actually be able to work through those as well through this. So that's been really good. This is one of my favorite times of year. I absolutely love winter, and it's been a beautiful winter as well so far. It's just going to get colder from here, which is exciting for me too. I love the cold. The winter solstice is sort of bittersweet for me because it's the lengthening of the days again. You know, we mark that time where the day is shortest, the night is longest, and then we're coming into light again. This for, I would probably say most people, at least most people that I've met, is a really good thing. You know, people love the returning light, even if they are people who enjoy the colder, darker seasons of the year. You know, they they welcome the returning of the light as well. For me, the returning of the light is something that's kind of scary. I've always felt quite vulnerable in the spring and summer months, and this is stuff that goes back to my childhood. So it's, even though the light is increasing, you know, there are more shadows coming, I know, for me to look at. But this year, more than ever, I feel ready to look at those. And I don't know, you know, if it will just take this, you know, next 2 seasons to get through all those things, all those shadows and whatever. But I'm ready to start looking at them, and I feel like dare I say, I feel like I'm actually ready for that challenge. I feel like, you know, while I'm apprehensive and nervous about it, you know, I want to grow and I want to not be afraid. Fear has dictated so much of my life, and I'm finally getting to the point where I'm sick enough of that and feeling strong enough within myself that I think I can actually do something about it. So that's exciting too. So all these things are kind of happening. Yeah, it's so beautiful where I am right now. I worked it out the other day. So Melbourne's climate, where I live, which is southeastern side of the large continent of Australia, our weather, at least the temperatures, is very much like Texas in the US. So as kind of a reference point for any of you who know Texas, I had a look at the average temperature in winter is about the same here as in Texas, and same again with summer. So that kind of gives you an idea, I think. Not that I've been there, so I can't really know, but yeah, it gives you an idea of what it's like. So it's just beautiful, you know. It hasn't been that cold. Another thing as well, I've noticed from watching other YouTubers and talking to a few people who live in the Northern Hemisphere, it seems to be that the last few years at least, your seasons have been quite extreme. Like, you know, your winters are very cold and your summers have been very hot. Down here, it seems to be that our weather is more mild than it used to be. You know, we still get really hot days. We still get, for Australia, very cold days. But overall, winter isn't that harsh and summer hasn't been that harsh either. So that's interesting. Yeah, so it's just been beautiful. Like, you know, I've got my little heater on here, but where I live now as opposed to where I lived before, I live roughly about an hour from where I used to live. It's a lot sort of colder here than it was over there. Not a lot, a few degrees. But yeah, it's just been nice. I love wearing layers. I've got my poncho on today, and I love wearing gloves and Ugg boots and bed socks and scarves, and so this is like totally my season. Anyway, this was kind of a rambly video. Thank you for sticking with me if you did. But just a little update on what's going on. Yeah, I would love to hear how you're going. I would love to hear how your summer solstice was, or your winter solstice, depending on where you are. And just generally hear how you're going. Let me know. Especially if you're not on Facebook. Quite a few of you are who sort of interact with me here as well. So I really enjoy seeing what you're doing in that sphere. Oh, and something else I wanted to mention too, which I probably shouldn't have done right at the end of a long video, but oh well. I am also on a channel called Starting Out Solitary. It's a collab channel, and it's really fun. So I'm on there. I started a couple of weeks ago, and I upload every Wednesday in the US, every Thursday in Australia, somewhere in between that in the UK, and I'm not sure where else in the world. So somewhere around Wednesday-ish is a video that I upload each week. And there's some really good topics. I had a look through at the ones coming up for the year, and some of them I'm really excited to talk about. So check that out if you haven't already, if you're interested. And if you want to connect with me anymore, all my links for everything are down below. Otherwise, I wish you all so much love and abundant blessings, and I will see you next time I upload a video. Much love.